Hello YouTubers, Minecrafters, and peoples of the intertubes. And welcome back to our Wild West build here on our vanilla Minecraft survival series. My name is Tolbert and I'm your host, and thanks for coming along. We're glad to have you on this wild and bumpy ride of ours. Well, I'm just sitting here at the bar and, well, I guess I better put my drink down now. Because it's time for us to get to work out here, ain't that right, Slavy? Well, as said in the last episode, after doing some of the interior designs of the hotel, it's time for us to go ahead and get started working on our hardware store. And so I'm figuring we're going to put that hardware store here right next to the bank, so we got to clear some of this stuff out of the way, along with clearing out some of this grass that is in the way as well, because this is going to be the site for the hardware store. So let's go ahead and get the framework down, and we'll be back after that framework is done and we can get a better explanation of what's going to be going on in here. So there's the framework we're going to be working with here today. We're doing 3x5 sections, and we're making them so wide for a particular reason, and we will show that when we get to that point. But we also got a little bit of an upstairs that's going to be going in here. A little bit of a place for the owners to sleep at night and whatnot. And well, we use dark oak for the outline, and we're going to be using spruce for the inner line here. Except for this big area here, well, these are going to become big giant windows. After all, people at a hardware store want to be able to show off their wares to the people, so they're going to be using the solid glass blocks here. The reason for the solid glass is, well, it's going to be more sturdy than glass panes. Any old thief can get through the glass panes, but solid glass blocks is going to take a thief a little bit more work to get through. So we're going to fill all the rest of this in. And one thing we're going to change is that normally at all the walls, now let me fill this one in real quick and then we'll give a look at that, is that at all the walls we normally put windows in the middle. So like here, we would go ahead and do an outline like so. And then we're going to fill the inner part of that with glass panes, right? Well, there's going to be the entire back wall section. So from here and all the way across and back is going to be completely solid. There's not going to be any windows along these back walls, and well, that has to do with the fact that the hardware store actually contains all of building materials. So we're going to end up putting chests in here filled with stone and cobblestone and stone brick and everything else you can think of. Every other kind of building material there is out there, and so that's the reason why we're just going to go ahead and fill all these in. It's because we're going to do something like this. So we're going to have, of course, chest and alternate between chest and trap chest. That's going to be changing once 1.13 comes out, but that's what we're doing for right now. And so all these back walls are going to be lined just like that. And every one of these is going to have an item frame on it, and that's going to show what is inside of it. But that's the plan for what we're going to do. And apparently I ran out of regular chests. I got to throw 2 more in there. So yep, let me go ahead and get this floor and walls put in, and let's run some chests all the way down, and then we'll be back once again after that. And so we got the first floor completely done on the outside. So the looks are all set. We got the big glass walls here, along with the inner walls done all the way around. And like I said, we weren't going to bother putting windows in these ones, all because that's where all of these chests are lined up at. We're going to go through some of these, and we're just going to go ahead and put a few frames on them like so. And then we'll go ahead and throw in, let's say... Actually, I should have done it before opening it. Throw a diorite block there, and throw diorite in there. And throw granite block there, and throw the granite in. So forth and so on. This is what we're going to go and do through all of these here. But we got a whole bunch of other miscellaneous things for us to go ahead and put in here. We're going to try to follow as much of a pattern as we can. That is to be the stone type things, the wood type things, the other type of building blocks. Just as we go along. And so like here we'll throw the... Well, we said this is going to be wood, right? So we'll throw wood in there. We're going to skip that for right now, but then we'll throw like netherrack, bone blocks, so forth and so on. But okay, this being the hardware store, the hardware store has to have the best and brightest of all brand new tools, which includes workbenches to work on. Which also includes... If we can get our item frames back, there we go. That they're going to be showing off through their windows their brand new fancy axes. And not just the axes. Well, they got brand new fancy picks as well. Nice. And what else do they have here at the hardware store? Well, they have themselves... Now let's see if this will actually work how I want it to with the fence posts there. Well, let's see. But well, the hardware store has all new. Oh, it doesn't work how I want it to. Okay, so we gotta knock this one out. So let's fix this real quick. Because the hardware store has to be able to show off their fancy new minecarts. And that was a little bit too much there. Alright, so let's get this going properly. It's going to be there and there. And then, of course, we need a block for them to stop at and keep on going. And, well, we're going to go ahead and power those blocks. And then just throw the minecart in the middle there. So they're showing off their fancy new minecarts. They got a total of 3 of them. And those fancy new minecarts is the regular minecart. And thankfully we have these right here. And we have just enough wood left over to go ahead and get ourselves a minecart with a chest. And of course we have the, ooh, gotta be careful, that explosive TNT minecart. I really hope this doesn't explode when I put it down. Alright, good. They got all the fancy new minecarts going on in here. Now we can go ahead and come on in and just shut these off right now, but they're showing their display. So what other things could they possibly have? Well, they definitely have some TNT for sale. So go ahead and throw that up there. And well, I think that's pretty much gonna do it in here for right now. But of course I gotta take my tools back. We'll replace those with some actual tools later. But we're gonna have a full suite of wood, iron, gold, and diamond tools for sale in here. We got the minecarts, we got the workbenches, we got the TNT, we got all of the materials that are going to be placed in back there. So that's going to be great there. And I just realized we're forgetting about one particular tool, being the shovel. Let me get some more wood to throw that post up there and put some item frames around it that we're going to put the shovels. And yes, I know we are missing out on one more tool. And yeah, we'll go ahead and include that tool as well. And that is the hoe. The wooden hoe, the iron hoe, the diamond hoe, and the iron, wood, diamond, and gold. And so we're going to change this up a little bit. We're going to actually move these over slightly. And we'll do a, well, no, let's do this. That was not in the center. Okay. What we're going to do, we're going to make this like a 3. There we go. And so we'll have diamond, gold, then iron and wood. And that'll include 4 different sets of tools. So we have the axe, the pick, the shovel, and the hoe. All right, let me go ahead and rest this night away, and then we'll continue with what we have going on. And there we have it. We have all of our tools in here. We got the hose in the middle. Right, once you walk in, we have our golden tools, our wooden tools, our diamond tools, and our iron tools all set up. We also changed that one minecart, instead of just being a regular minecart, to being a furnace minecart. We can show that off. So the hardware store inside is pretty much completed, except for all of these item frames that gotta go on front of all of these chests. But now we're going back to the outside here, to that upstairs area, and every spaghetti western that I've ever seen has always included some guy that is on top. Where's our regular axe? Some guy that's always on top of a rickety old staircase leading up to like an upstairs apartment area. So that's what we're going to be doing here. And I didn't bring the other wood with me. So we're going to go ahead and build this rickety old staircase that leads all the way up to this little apartment area up here. Where someone's going to be living. Whether it's going to be the owner of the hardware store down below or what, not exactly sure yet. But we do know that whoever does live up here, they have to come up this staircase all the way up here, and they're going to be able to come out here, and they'll be able to watch the middle of town, the center, whenever that high noon shootout happens. So let me go ahead and throw this together real quick, and we'll be right back. And finally, the last little bit of what we need to do, we need to make our sign to go out there, the hardware sign. So let's start with making ourselves an H, which should be fairly simple. I believe we've done this one before. Starts with a black banner, and then some bone meal across the top and bottom, and then ink around the sides. And there is our H. And now we need to move on to the A. Starts with a white banner. This is another one we've done before. So go ahead and do the ink sacs across the top and then across the sides. And finally, ink sacs along the middle, I believe, gives us our A. And well, now we need an R to go next. And so we start with a black banner at the top. We have white all the way around, at least on the bottoms. And then we have the black going diagonal. Then we have white all along the two sides here. Then we need to go ahead and do the black ink around the side. And then we need to do the black ink across the top and across the middle. Gives us our R. And the D is what we have next. And that starts with a black banner as well. I believe that's our last one with the black banner. We go ahead and do a star pattern with the white there. Then we have black going across the top. Then we have black going across the bottom. I believe we finish it off with black going against the side. And there's our D. Well, now we need to move on to the W. And this one starts with the white banner, and I see we're starting to get a little bit low on the ink sacs there, and starting to get a little concerned that we might not have enough to finish this off with. We will do our best. And we may have to go off and get some more ink sacs before we can finish. But we should be getting close, because there's our W. Now, for the next A, we can just go ahead and duplicate that banner. So now we have two of the A's. So now we need another R, I believe. H-A-R-D-W-A-R-E. So we can just duplicate that one. We need a black banner to duplicate that one with. But we are really, really low. Oh, it's already in my inventory. That's right, it is. Let's go ahead and make ourselves another black banner real quick. That's 6 black wool and a stick. Alright, so now we should be able to duplicate that R. There we go. So now we're down to the E, where we need at least 12 ink sacs, and we only have 3. So I need to go out there and get 6 more ink sacs before we can finish this off. So we'll be right back in just 1 second. Okay, so now we're on to the very last one, which is the E. We were able to get out there and get those ink sacs rather quickly. So we go ahead and start with the middle and then go along the edge with the white, and then we finish that off with black at the top, black at the bottom, and finally black on the side. And we have 2 left over. Okay. So we have our hardware sign completed. Let's go ahead and get that hung up there real quick. We went ahead and made a little bit of a sign there. Just something real basic and simple for the hardware store. They don't need anything fancy, that's for certain. So here we go with the HARDWARE. And so finally we set this off with torches underneath. I guess we can go like every other one there. And hardware. So now we can see it in the nighttime and we know where we need to go. And so our hardware store is now completed. So everybody, thanks for coming along with us. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Ooh, a little dark at the end here. But there is that beautiful sunset there in the background. And, well, as far as I know, the way it goes is that the cowboy rides off into the sunset. So, horsey, what are we doing here? I guess it's time for us to start riding, for us to say, so long everybody, we'll see you next time.